Shout out to everyone who came to the live show last night. It was a lot of fun. I was surprised. I gotta admit, I was surprised by the turnout. Actually, a very solid turnout. I didn't know what I was expecting. I was admittedly a little bit worried that the vibes would be so bad, like teetering on like aggressive bad. That was not the case at all. I don't understand why folks trash the people that work for the organization if they're the ones on as if they're the ones on board with this. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Luka ejection slightly gives us all an erection. My Pee-wee got an infection. Lakers in 5. Dude, check that. Get that checked out, and don't bring that in the chat, please. Like, that's got nothing to do with us. That's got nothing to do with us here. We've got a lot to talk about. Honestly, my quick little, we're what, about, I don't know, 8 hours away? How do you guys, so I got to take my dog in I got to take my dog to the vet at 8:30 on Friday. Should we do slightly early tomorrow morning as just kind of a post-game thing, or just do it Friday? Yes, I do have a dog. It's at my grandparents' house. It's technically my dog. I adopted a dog. All of my pets are adopted. You guys want to know. But I adopted a dog in college. Admittedly, probably irresponsible thing to do at the time, but he was very loved and taken care of, right? Very loved and taken care of. It did reach a point, though, where I, like a dumbass, was just like, I shouldn't have got, like, it's not fair to have this dog in a college apartment. The time I got the dog, I lived in a house, and then I moved into an apartment. No, nothing serious. He's just got, it's like his ears. I think he has bad allergies or something. And every spring, like, his ears get bad, and he needs some type of medicine. It's not a big deal. But anyways, no, I didn't birth my pets. So anyways, I took him to, whenever I went home for summer, stayed at my grandparents' house, they got a dog too. Like around the same exact time they adopted a dog, and they were like best friends over the summer. So I just let them stay there during the summer. Then I graduated, moved back home to my grandparents' house. Lived in my grandparents' house for a year after college. It's funny because at the time, it felt like I was there for 5 years. Just like every day, like I'm the biggest fuck up for not having my own place. Anyways, once I moved into an apartment, I just kind of, my dog just kind of stayed there. And now it's just, he's at my grandparents' house. How many people were at the live stream last night? I don't know. There's a good amount. I don't know. I'm bad with that kind of stuff. The 1,000 and maybe 10,000. Maybe millions even. Yeah, once I moved into the penthouse, yes. I've been enjoying your Clips channel. It's clutch when I miss the streams. The Clips channel is so funny. Some of you know what? Let me save it. The Clips channel is hilarious. The Clips channel is doing very well. But it's interesting comment sections over there, because I think there's people who just discovered the Clips channel and don't know the stream or don't watch the stream. But you sipping on King? I'm working my way through this pack of Nespresso pods still. Oh, that actually reminds me. Somebody at the show last night gave me a sample pack, Lemon Drop Coffee Co. Lemon Drops Coffee Co. Brewed in Dallas, Texas. Fan of the show. So I do have a French press, so I'll try this out. Lemon Drop is solid. We use them for events. Hell yeah. You know, I'm not like a coffee snob necessarily, but that looks good. Does it have added flavors? It doesn't say on here. It does. But lemondropcoffee.com, there's a little QR code. So shout out to that. Shout out to them. Shout out to Four Corners Brewery. My guy Bernardo. Hooked me up with a nice little sixer for the road. Nice little sixer for the road. Free of charge, of course. I mean, free of charge. So that's nice. Rangers have been struggling lately, which is so. I didn't get to watch the game last night. I barely watched the game a couple of days ago, so maybe that's part of the problem. I haven't been watching, but I know my I know my Gunners had a huge win yesterday. God, it's been so long we don't even have the camera here. Don't talk about it? Don't worry, I won't. I didn't watch. But I'm still repping them, and I'm happy they won. I'm a Gooner. That's right. Lakers are up 108-107 with all the momentum on our side. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I just finished watching back that game this morning right before I went live. We'll talk about that. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Michael Malone situation. How's it live? Did you learn anything new about where the fans are? I mean, everyone there was like, yeah, I'm still a Mavs fan, which is to be expected. I mean, you're going to a Locked On Mavs live show. You know, like there wasn't anyone there who was like, oh, I fucking hate the Mavs now. It is funny because they don't like close the bar, right? They don't close the brewery. So there was people there in like business attire who I'm sure are in town for business or something and just came through. Because at the end, Nick was like, who here has never even heard of the show? And a few people were just like... So there's just some guys there just hearing Mavs fans venting about it. My kid decided to go to school with his Lakers Luka jersey instead of his Mavs. That one's tough. I do appreciate the people who came up to me last night and said that they were viewers of the slightly early streams. Those are my favorite. Like those are, I appreciate you. Also, shout out. I had multiple people come up to me and be like, dude, your Wordle guesses, man. Look, I'm trying, man. They asked me like, do you troll a little bit? And I'm like, there's nothing trolling going on. And it's just, I get in my own head. And now I'm probably going to be even more deep in my own head, you know? Do you think Luka would even consider coming back to Dallas if Nico is fired? No. I don't. So pressure is on now. I'm trying my hardest, guys. Let's get into it. Okay. I like this start for us. I like this start quite a bit. Is this a word? Feet. Feels a word. Is this not a word? That sounded like a word in my mind. I want to just guess theme. That way I know this isn't correct. I know there's not an A. But I just want to do it just to see if it's a T and if the E is the third letter. I am going to do it. I'm going to waste a guess. I don't care. That actually told me quite a bit. So it's blank H, blank E. I'm guessing. Okay. That actually helped me out quite a bit. All right. That's fine. Cheat, really? It's not cheat. This isn't a word, right? We tried this one already. Time to embarrass myself. Didn't we try this word already? Is this a dumbass word? Or am I really a dumbass? Don't answer that. It's not zeet. It's not zeet. It's not vheat. It's not beat. I don't think that's a word. That's not a word. That can't be it. That cannot possibly be it. That cannot possibly be it. That's not it. I'm going through every letter. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That can't possibly be it. That's not it. Oh, wheat. Jesus Christ almighty, dude. Okay. Dog. Dog pound. Trot. Okay. Slug. Glove. Bat. Ball. There's definitely something baseball related here. Ball, glove, bat. I said slug because that's part of, but there's also a sock situation. Like this is part of, there's a baseball attire, your baseball sock, baseball ball, baseball glove, baseball bat. This feels like it could, these, at least three of these. Yeah, one away. No. I'm not one away. Okay. Right. Well, that changes things a little tiny bit. Ball, orb, globe, sphere. Let's not overthink this too much. Those have to be connected. Okay. Round three-dimensional objects. So bat, I still think that there's a baseball-related angle here with glove, bat, slug. But then I look at slug, pound, pop. Sock. What could be related to sock? I mean, let's think of some dumbass shit that they would have in here. Is there another pronunciation of sock maybe I'm missing? Is there a letter that's snuck into sock that could be replaced with something else? Like that's kind of what I'm also thinking about here. Frog. What could frog be related to? Frog, bat, dog. I mean, we're just going the animal angle at that juncture. Trot. So I'm thinking this is going to be something fucking stupid. Bat, frog, dog. Okay, hold on a second. Dog, pound. Hound and dog could be related. Pound and dog could be related, but I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. I'm just in my own head so much here. I feel like slug and pound have to be connected. Now that I'm looking at it. Pop. I popped them. I slugged them. I pounded them. I popped them. I slugged them. I pounded them. What's the other one? I neutered them. I really hold him. Oh, I really hounded him. Fuck it. That could be connected, I guess. One away. It's one of these. I batted him around. That could be it. Slug, bat, pop, pound. That could be it. Oh, I socked him. Okay. That one was actually kind of easy now that I now that I thought about it a little bit. So we have dog, frog, hound, bat, glove, newt, hole, trot. I mean, these four could be connected, I feel like, almost. I don't care. I'm just guessing it because I don't want to spend too much time on this. Fuck. Animals in the Witch's Brew in Macbeth. Foxtrot, foxhound, foxhole. And it's crazy because I saw hole and I literally thought foxhole. Foxglove. I'm going to be real. I have no clue what a foxglove is. Oh, it's a type of flower. Okay. All right. I mean, again, animals in the Witch's Brew and Macbeth. I almost just did this one. Bat, dog, frog, newt. I literally thought about doing that one too. I should have just done it. Spent too much time on the stupid ass ones. You just got to listen to your gut. That's the problem. A Haynes brief. Oh, man. I'm just going to, today is just. I just don't want to go on Twitter. It's just going to be nothing but headaches. Nothing but headaches. Hall of Famer center Dwight Powell plays final season of pro basketball for Ice Cube's The Big Three. Congratulations to Dwight Howard. I guess. No, congratulations. I think. No. Congratulations, though. I'm just. I don't know why I woke up in a pissy mood. Because I had a great night last night. Great night's sleep. Woke up in a good mood. But now I'm already fucking annoyed and upset. You understand? Now I'm already pissed off. Now I'm already mad. I opened up Twitter for 1 second and now I'm already fucking agitated and upset. Yeah, I'm a big Coach Malone guy. Good morning, folks. It's Wednesday, April 9th, 2025, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on the dot. I was just saying in the stream that I had a great night last night. The Locked On Mavs live show at Four Corners Brewery was a lot of fun. Shout out to everyone who came out. Shout out to Tyler B, $4.99 donation. John Moran throwing grenades in the crowd and Luka gets tossed. Houseway. Also, Dumont should eat those shirts. He looks like Chunky. So I was just telling chat that although I had a great night last night, although I had a good night's sleep, although I woke up and had some great father-son bonding time with my beautiful cat named Finn, who is the king of the castle here, I'm in a bad news. I'm in a bad mood because bad news set in the moment I opened up Twitter. Why am I annoyed? I don't even know if I want to say it because people are going to get mad at me or interpret it the wrong way. Right? So, obviously, Luka's making his return to Dallas tonight. Widely anticipated. A lot of emotions going to be happening. I theorized on the live show last night that we're probably going to get, I would have to say it's going to be probably 80-20 in terms of Lakers / fuck the Mavs. I'm rooting for Luka now fans in the arena and Mavs fans. I honestly, God, think it's going to be 80-20. So, the Mavs are planning a tribute video, which is good. I figured they would, obviously, but I did kind of think it would be possible that we saw Luka a tribute video, like a combined tribute video, Luka, Maxey, and Markieff Morris all together as one, and that would be the tribute video. But it does sound like they're doing a tribute video. It comes out, thank you for everything. The Mavs are handing out these shirts, and everyone's mad about it. Guys, I don't, like, why are we mad about these fucking shirts, man? Like, what's wrong with these shirts? Honest to God, what's wrong with them? Like, yes, of course, they traded them. Terrible. Yes, that goes without being said. Yes, of course, they shouldn't have traded them. Yes, of course, they shouldn't have said all that shit after they traded them. I understand it. I saw people were mad on Twitter that they weren't Lakers colors. Are you fucking stupid? Actually, are you stupid? Honestly. You wanted them to give out Laker colored shirts. So that's why I'm already in a bad mood, right? I mean, I'm surprised. I am surprised they're doing this. So this to me is like a positive. I'm surprised they're doing this. I did not think they would roll out the red carpet at all. I didn't think they would do almost anything besides a tribute video. I didn't think that they would do anything like that. That's exactly what I'm saying, Aaron. I'm surprised they're even doing this. I really didn't think they would do a single thing. Let's not pretend the organization means it. We got to understand, the people who probably set up the shirts, the people who made the tribute video are not people who decided to trade Luka Doncic. I'll tell you that much. Like, I am surprised that they're doing this. They put out these shirts to combat the Lakers 77 jersey. I mean, this just feels like it's a decent gesture from the franchise. The people who organize these things love Luka, absolutely. Yes, yes. People need to be reminded of that. I honestly, my prediction is that they weren't going to do anything like this, and they were going to do a combined tribute video. That was my prediction, and that would have come from the higher ups. I'm not saying that was like going to be a media team's decision, but that would be a decision that came from the higher ups. But you weren't going to get like what the Warriors did for Clay, right? Where that was just like a reunion. That was a thank you for everything. It kind of got a little bit awkward, but by and large, we sort of went off, happy, right? It did get a little weird there at the end, but there's not really any bad blood between us. This wasn't that. They're trying to profit a player they've been hating for the last 3 months, and they tell us don't care about paying players and money. I mean, giving out free shirts is not profiting. They're losing money in this regard. So I don't know what. Not sure what that means. Am I cynical if I say the front office only did this to pacify him? Yes. I think you're being cynical. I think they just thought this was a nice gesture. Oh, and also another thing that's pissing me off. Hey. Another thing that's pissing me off. If I get tagged in this fucking video one more time, I just opened up Twitter and this is the first thing I see right now. If I get tagged in this video one more time, I'm going to lose my mind. God bless this guy.
How much do you pay for rent in Houston, Texas?
God bless him, right? I wish this guy all the best here, but if I get tagged in this guy's video one more time, I'm going to lose my mind.
I pay $34.50 a month.
You think I could take a look at your apartment?
Yeah, of course. Welcome to the place. 1,400.
Take a look at your apartment.
$34.50 a month. To the place. 1,400 square feet. Lived here for roughly 2 months.
$34.50 a month.
Game development. I am not from Houston. I was originally from Delaware County.
To live in Houston,
I would
Texas.
Describe my style as more minimalist. I like to keep it pretty simple. So the couch I got from Anthropology.
Oh man.
I love the windows.
Oh.
So those two things are probably the absolute favorites. Favorite thing in the apartments, I've got to be my setup. I spend most of my time.
Man, that's tough. That's tough. Mavs had lined up lucrative sponsorship deals for Wednesday's game, but those deals fell apart after Doncic's camp declined to give its blessing. They profiting off Luka? I mean, okay. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I mean, they traded him. Like, I don't know what you're wanting me to say. I mean, like, I don't understand what is there to say. I hope Luka shits on this pathetic franchise tonight. I'm not reading this Tim McMahon article, honestly. Wow, the Lakers are only 3.5-point favorites. That's interesting. Why is Dante Exum? I thought Dante Exum was out for the season. What's going on there? Why do you get annoyed from the fan base reaction? Let them be. So what bothers me about stuff like this is, people like, I will constantly say, be a fan however you want to be a fan, right? Keith with the $5. I'm a diehard Lakers fan. Your raw knowledge and passion reaction is why I follow. Much respect. Nico is our MVP, GM of the year. Yeah, Nico should win MVP this season. Fans can be fan how they want. I do get annoyed. Maybe I'm just getting older and becoming a little bit more of a softie, but I do get annoyed like when people like really shit on this because it's like, what's wrong? I don't get what's wrong with this. Like, can we direct our anger towards more important and things that, like go to the game and wear a Luka jersey and chant tonight. Like, do all of that shit, please. Like, please do all of that shit. There's nothing wrong with the shirts. I got annoyed when people were mad that they weren't Lakers colors because it's like they were like white instead of Lakers colors, huh? It's like, why the fuck would they be Lakers colors? You acting like the fan base wants to cheer on Luka for the opposition? I don't think I'm acting like that at all. So, you think Luka will get the opportunity to acknowledge the fans at least? Oh yeah, they'll do the tribute video at a timeout. Like that's what they do. They don't do it like during the game. It'll be like during a timeout. That's usually how they do it. No, I'm not going to the game. I'm not paying $300 to go to the game. I think tickets are currently sitting at around there, probably after fees. The cheapest ticket to get in the building, $300. Cheapest ticket right now just to get in the building, $243. That's before fees on these shitty ass piece of shit websites. That'll probably go up. I'm sure there's some type of tariff cost on it as well. So we're talking about probably $500-$600 just to get in the building. $300 with the Inkster discount. I don't get an Inkster discount. I tried. We tried to get me a media credential. They said no multiple times. Bobby on Dallas saying the Mavs shouldn't do a video for Luka to prevent DLLS. I always call it Dallas. DLLS for Luka to prevent the backlash. Surprised me as an ex-Mav employee. I didn't see a clip, so I'd have to listen to like the context of it. No, doing a video is the right thing to do. It's there's no way out of this for them. There's no way out of tonight. Like you're not. You can maybe eject like the 5 or 6 kind of rowdy fans over the course of a game. There's no getting out of tonight. There's no way out, buddy. You're done for. It's over. Tonight, it's over. There's no coming back. There's no coming back tonight. So you might as well just do it. Hopefully Nico shows his face like he did in LA. So I do ask because I don't know. I don't know the answer to this question because it's something that you wouldn't even think about prior. But I do. Did Nico have specific seats Because it doesn't surprise me. If he's in the tunnel, I know this, talking to people and knowing people who do stuff with the organization, when they're not working, they hang out in the tunnel. So I don't know for sure. Oh, yes, according to McMahon, he did have seats. Okay, because I actually don't know. I didn't know. Nick said he used to have seats in the lower bowl. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's not a surprise. LeBron James Barbie Ken doll launch. LeBron is the first ever male athlete to receive a Barbie Ken Ambassador doll. And guys, yeah, I mean, look at him. Well deserved. Absolutely. This is why he's the greatest of all time. Because does Michael Jordan have a Barbie? No. Does Michael Jordan have a Ken doll? Absolutely not. You know what kind of came and went from, maybe came and went's not the right verbiage, but what kind of came and went from a cultural phenomenon standpoint was the Barbie movie. The moment the movie ended, and I liked it. It was fun. It was a little bit more like powerful than I thought it would going to be. I kind of thought it would just be a raucous, right? It was a bit more powerful than I thought it would be. The moment the movie ended, obviously Ryan Reynolds awesome in the movie, or not Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling awesome in the movie. I immediately the last shot, he has the I'm Knuff, I'm Knuff, right? That's what it was. Hoodie, the little tie-dye hoodie. Immediately everybody's first thoughts, that's sick. That's a sick ass hoodie. It's hilarious, right? Movie ends, I walk out, find out they're selling that on their official website. I buy it. The problem is, it took months to get there. And by the time it got to me, it was so fucking out of date. And like the moment had passed by about 4 months that I've worn it maybe once. Because now I'm just kind of waiting for it to reach the vintage stage where it's cool to bust it back out. Barbie movie was overrated. Like, it was fun, but the way some people are talking about it being an Oscar nomination worthy is crazy. I mean, yeah, it was a fun movie. The Barbenheimer stuff was iconic. Absolutely. What would a hypothetical trade for Jokic look like? All right, let's segue, because I do think, I mean, this stuff is just, I don't really get what's going on. So we've kind of established this precedent now with the Grizzlies that teams are just going to fire coaches whenever they want. We had, at the $2, how many times does ESPN mute the crowd due to chance? I don't know. It being on ESPN is interesting because you really can't run. You really cannot run. So Michael Malone gets fired. I believe I saw a tweet. I think it was from Stein that it, according to this database they had, it's the second. It's the second latest in a season. Is that the right verbiage? That a coach has been fired mid-season. So we're talking about unprecedented stuff. Buying the Knuff hoodie is such a millennial purchase. Yeah, I'm aware, dude. I'm aware. It really is. Yeah, trust me. That's why I don't wear it. That's why I don't wear it. But anyways, we also have now, okay, so here's this stuff from Stein, because this is important context. Only 3 NBA coaches, San Antonio's Greg Popovich, Miami's Eric Spoelstra, and Golden State's Steve Kerr, have held their posts longer than Malone. Okay, wait. That's not what I wanted, but that's Michael Malone was one of the longest tenured coaches in the league. We've also now seen 2 NBA teams with winning records fire their head coach with less than 10 games to go in the regular season, Memphis and Denver. Before this season, it had never happened in the modern NBA. So we had never seen a winning team fire their coach with this little time left in the season until this season. We've seen it twice. So I do wonder, the first thing I thought was, did the Nuggets see what the Grizzlies did? And were they like, okay, the precedent's been set, let's do it. The precedent has been set. We're wanting to move on. The Grizzlies did it. It's time for us to do it. Or would this have happened either way? That's the question that I have. Obviously, the locker room had been completely and totally lost. I mentioned this. We talked about this briefly in the live show last night. I do wonder, what does this tell me? And you guys are going to yell at me for saying this, but I don't give a shit. I'm going to say it anyways. I wonder if this is a statement about, and bear with me here, guys. I wonder if this is a statement about the Oklahoma City Thunder and maybe the Celtics, maybe the Cavs. Maybe these teams are realistically looking at their situation and saying, we're not going to win. We have championship aspirations. The Nuggets definitely do. The Grizzlies do as well. But we have thoughts and dreams and goals of a championship. And it's not happening this year. So we're just going to rip the Band-Aid off now. But still, why now? Why not wait for the offseason? Malone's record would be helpful, right, in the playoffs. Right? I mean, I agree with you. This is shocking. I don't fully understand it. I would have to guess the locker room was probably so bad, and maybe the front office. Well, the front office is gone, but maybe ownership looked at the situation and was like, "Hey, the situation is so bad. We do not think we're going to win in this current form. So why don't we try?" And it was reported that they thought that this could be a jolt for the team entering the postseason. What does that tell you? They thought at the top, this team is not winning in the playoffs. We know the Jamal Murray situation is getting very strange with that hamstring injury. And so maybe we don't think we're going to win anyway, but maybe this is sort of this last resort type of thing. The team gets hyped up. They play for each other. You know how that shit works. And we're just going to fire him now. 3 years of wanting J. Kidd fired. Nuggets got a one step ahead and fired their most winning coach and championship coach first. And you guys want me to be honest with you? Unless, you could make the argument that, well, Kidd definitely was in the decision tree when it came to Luka getting traded. Okay, that's fair. Luka, our Kidd hasn't done really anything to warrant getting fired. I'm sorry to say. And I don't think Malone did really either. But this was in the works. Like this had been a long time coming. This has been a long time coming. When I did my New Year's predictions, my 2025 predictions, I did predict Michael Malone and Calvin Booth would get fired. That felt like a foregone conclusion that if they weren't going to win, that they would get fired in the offseason. Key point, the offseason. It happening now is just incredibly shocking. And then, of course, you had this. Anytime stuff like this happens, you look back on things that were said. That just the day before Michael Malone got fired, he had those quotes about Jamal Murray, that this hamstring injury, we don't even know what it is. It was day to day. Now we don't know. That to me sounded like a coach who was frustrated at there being an injury, of course, but also frustrated at the fact that what the fuck is going on here? Like, why is this guy not ready to play? And I'm reading the tea leaves. I've listened to a few Denver Nuggets guys talk about this. The Jamal Murray situation is interesting. If it were to come out that Jamal Murray and Michael Malone maybe didn't get along very well, that probably would make sense based off of stuff that people are talking about. But Michael Malone had this a couple of days ago where he said, here, I'll just play it. It's a pretty funny press conference.
I didn't think we played with any pride tonight.
I feel like they took that.
I really care. It's not my job to evaluate how they take things. My job is to be honest, and sometimes brutally honest. And tonight, it was a brutally honest message. And the guys that are full of shit won't hear it. They'll say coach is tripping. And the guys that maybe do really care will, because they're not going to go back and watch their minutes, because nobody watches their minutes. Nobody watches film. So we'll have to show them the film. And I said, if somebody disagrees with me, please speak up. And nobody said a word. So, again, I'm not really concerned with how they took that message. My thing is being honest with how we just played. And the same thing that's been bothering us of late that I talked about pregame, the turnovers, the rebounding, was even worse tonight. And I didn't think it could get any worse, but it did.
So that's one of the things about Michael Malone, always very honest. Just saw that JT Toppin's returning to Texas Tech next year. Mike got fired because he's not a corporate weasel. So it had been sort of talked about for a long time. Like, I mean, I honestly think that it's years at this point that the Nuggets coaching staff and more specifically Michael Malone, obviously, and the front office, and more specifically Calvin Booth, had not seen eye to eye. Like, I feel like we're years into that storyline, right? Like, that's been a thing for a long time. Like, kind of a strangely long period of time. DQ, Draw Quick in the chat is our resident Nuggets fan, so he might have a little bit more to say about this. He might have a little bit more insight, but here's I've been looking at this dude's Twitter quite a bit as well. I always monitor Denver's like the fan base's reaction to certain things, and this is kind of similar to the Grizzlies thing, where I think a lot of Nuggets fans had frustrations with Michael Malone, and I think wanting Michael Malone gone was kind of a popular opinion amongst Denver Nuggets fans, right? Like, if they had flamed out in the postseason, then maybe it was time just to move on and try something new, right? Not that he's not a good coach, not that you haven't had a lot of success with him, but that it was just time to move on. Definitely time to move on from Calvin Booth, but time to move on. But it's similar to the Grizzlies situation, because there's a lot of Grizzlies fans who are frustrated with Taylor Jenkins. It's just the timing that's so bizarre. In the offseason, Booth was given full autonomy to explore a variety of different moves by ownership. It was supposed to be a collaborative effort among the organization, but Booth made the majority of decisions by himself without consulting most of Denver's brain trust, including Malone, league sources tell Mile High Sports. This is sounding very reminiscent to the situation that occurred in Draft Day, the 2014 film starring Kevin Costner, which I did watch over the weekend. Very similar, just kind of a rogue GM, just operating. You know, maybe Calvin Booth watched that movie. What do we think? I think it's possible. And before we move on, it's important to add some context. It's important to add some context to the Nuggets season. Obviously, they're 47-32. They're going to make, well, I was going to say they're going to make the playoffs, but that's really up for question. Their highest percentage chance, I was listening to Zach Lowe talk about this, their highest percentage chance currently by projections is to be a play-in team. So, I mean, crazy season. They're 23rd in defense, so they have not been good defensively, and they've had guys in and out. Michael Porter Jr., there's just something about Michael Porter Jr. that's bothering me. I don't know if it's the podcast. I just get annoyed by podcast guys. They're 8-11 since March 1st, 23rd ranked defense, and I think more damning than anything, only the 10th best offense. You know, they're fantastic when Jokic is on the court, obviously, but the Nuggets need to do better than 10th offensively if their defense is going to be that bad. And yes, the Nuggets bench is the worst in the NBA. Yeah, I mean, dude, Calvin Booth has done a fucking dreadful job. Dreadful job. But it's also been widely reported that they're kind of working within the constraints that the ownership has given them, that they're not willing to spend money maybe at the level that you would want to see from a team that's desperate to win, right? Or you would think desperate to win at least. Maybe I'm not giving Kid enough credit. I just don't love it. I mean, Kid's a fine head coach. That's it. He's fine. I have my same belief about Kid that I've had for pretty much ever, outside of a few exceptions here and there when I was really upset. If you fire Jason Kidd, cool. If you don't fire him, cool. Aaron Gordon, yeah, Aaron Gordon has looked cooked. Hard to carry anymore since the trade. So I'm just a cool guy. You can't develop properly. Oh, here's a take. You can't develop properly under the Jokic heliocentric system. Not a single player is done without Jokic's touch. Mans has by far the most touches. Nobody talks about it. Well, I don't know if you could say that, because Christian Brown's having a most improved player type of season. Like, Christian Brown will almost certainly get... Do you vote, like, most improved? Did you just vote who wins the award? There's no second place, third place for most improved, is there? Well, I think Christian Brown will probably get some most improved love this year. He's developed quite a bit this season, especially offensively. I mean, majorly offensively. They've just taken chances. And what the Nuggets have done that's weird is they've not only taken chances by drafting young guys, Calvin Booth, and then letting go of older veteran players in an effort to pave a pathway for these young guys to play. But not only have they done that, but they've tied themselves financially to these young guys. Think about the Zeke Naji contract. Do you know how fucking bad, and no offense to Zeke Naji, do you know how fucking bad you have to be? And again, no offense. Do you know how bad you have to be for an $8 million a year contract to be unmovable? Do you realize how bad you have to be? $8 million a year, unmovable. You got to be terrible. And again, no offense. Full offense. Gerard Quick says full offense. It's not his fault he got the contract. It's not his fault. But they gave, Jalen Pickett, who has been playing a little bit more for them, they gave him a guaranteed contract immediately for a second-round pick. Tied themselves to him. And, his contract isn't nearly as big as Zeke Naji's, but the point still stands. I saw someone blaming Russ for this. That's lazy. Russ has been mostly good for the Nuggets. Yeah, Russ, as a veteran, as a vet minimum guy, has been more than fine for Denver. Has he had his slip-ups here and there? Of course. But he's been more than fine. Booth identified Holmes in the draft and moved mountains to get him. Now, that's not, I don't know how fair that is because, of course, he tore his ACL before he could even step on an NBA floor. So that one is a little... And to be fair, though, we're talking about Day'Ron Holmes, obviously. Drafted 22nd overall, tore his ACL. Or his Achilles. Tore his Achilles. I'm sorry. Didn't get to see him this season. To be fair, most people love that draft pick, and most people thought that, this is kind of a perfect guy to back up Jokic. Like, this is kind of what they've been looking for. This young guy who can play make a little bit, this big, they can kind of do similar things when Jokic is off the court. Jokic is the first center to average a triple-double for a season, but Malone was deep-throating him. He sent out multiple draft picks to force Reggie Jackson out of Denver and free up Pickett to be the backup point guard. That trade was god-awful. I don't know if you guys remember that. They gave up, 3 second-round picks to get off of Reggie Jackson's contract in the summer. Reggie Jackson making $5 million. I don't know if you guys remember this or not. I think that was day one of the draft that they made that trade. I came on after that, I did like a Twitter video, and I pretty much said, guys, I think the Mavs are fucked. I think the Mavs are fucked when it comes to getting rid of Tim Hardaway Jr. because the Nuggets just had to dump 3 second-round picks just to get off of $5 million. For Reggie Jackson. Like, I think the Mavs it's going to be impossible for the Mavs to get off of Tim Hardaway Jr. And then the next day, the Mavs traded. I mean, this was a great move, right? Tim Hardaway Jr., I think 1 second-round pick. Was that what it was? And got Quentin Grimes. Or did they end up giving up 3 second-round picks? I don't remember the exact trade. But the Mavs trade looked like, the Luka trade in comparison. Booth and ownership were in lockstep about KCP not being worth going into the second apron, so they let him go. While Malone was a fan of Christian Brown and trusted him, he didn't sign off on letting KCP walk away and for nothing in free agency and wanted the veteran back. Well, I think that's always going to be a touchy part of the owner, general manager, coach relationship. Of course, the coach isn't going to want to let KCP walk away. But when you're talking about the financial restrictions, that becomes a problem. But I guess my thing is, dude, you have, how old is Jokic at this point? 29? You've got a 30-year-old, just turned 30, happy belated, 30-year-old Nikola Jokic playing probably the best basketball of his career, which is saying a lot because he's a 3-time MVP and a finals MVP. Playing the best basketball of his career, and you're not willing to go into the second apron. Like, are you fucking serious? And here's the thing, I kind of get like the restrictions that come with that. it's difficult to move pieces around when you're in the second apron, but they weren't able to do shit anyways. They don't have picks really to trade. They don't have like really easily movable contracts. So that's what I don't. You're already kind of restricted, not because of the second apron, but because you like don't have the pieces to move. I mean, we were talking about to get off the Zeke Naji. Like, could they package their 2031 first, which is the only first they have tradable? Could they trade that and Zeke Naji to get like Chris Boucher? Like that, those were trades that were being tossed around at the deadline. I gotta say, I thought for sure Calvin Booth would be fired. I thought 100% he would be fired. I was maybe 50-50 on Michael Malone being fired, but them just ripping the Band-Aid off and both of them being fired at the same time, at this point in the season is just fucking insane. I'm gonna go through Denver Short's timeline here. I mean, just absolutely crazy. The Sacramento Kings have officially clinched a play-in spot. Per DNVR, Calvin Booth hired a shooting coach named Mike Penberthy and wanted to rebuild the Nuggets organizationally. Michael Malone initially responded saying, "No, that's a coach. I hire coaches." One of the many examples of how these two are not on the same page at all. So ran with the $4.99. Hey, love the content as usual. I know you understand, but the people on Twitter are the loud minority. Can't let them trigger you like that. I mean, I'm just also fucking around to the top. You need serious help if you aren't willing to go over the apron for the best player in the NBA, Nikola Jokic. Like I would kind of get it if you were to say, "Hey, we have plans to do this. We have plans to do this. We have plans to do this." And being in the second apron fucks that up for us. Like we can't make the moves we want to move because of the restrictions of being in the second apron. But you can't make moves anyway. Like you're already you have restricted yourself because you can't trade Jamal Murray this year because he just signed a contract extension. Nobody really wants Michael Porter Jr., right? Obviously, nobody wants Zeke Naji. You don't have really, like, you can't trade Christian Brown. Christian Brown's probably a pretty valuable asset across the league, but you can't trade him because he's so important to your team now. Like, you don't have a lot of pick. You have already restricted yourself. You know? Jokic D rating is almost the same as Luka. Why isn't Jokic D talked about, man? It's talked about. It's talked about quite a bit. And I do think Jokic's defense has been atrocious this year. Absolutely. I don't care about any of the random advanced stats. Like, what was the one that's being tossed around now? I saw one. It's like, he has the most kick balls in the league. The most kick balls was what that popped up. Like, okay, bro. Like, okay. Let's get serious. Literally, no one talks about Jokic's defense. I don't know where you're getting that information from. Another anecdote told by DNVR guys about Booth and Malone. One of the stories was that Colin Gillespie and Jalen Pickett would be playing scrimmages, and Malone would come in and reorganize the teams to stack a deck and mimic thinks about Pickett's weaknesses in his game in fury. And mimic things about Pickett's weaknesses in his game in fury. Fake story? What's fake about this? I mean, it's the DNVR guys. They know. Probably Gilbert Arenas. Let's get Gilbert Arenas on a sideline. Absolutely nuts. Booth and Malone never liked each other, rarely spoke, and talked behind each other's backs. With the team struggling on the court, Nuggets ownership decided to fire both. Jesus. Some ran with the $9.99. Luka won, to be honest. Even as a Luka fan, this is getting long. I still love Mavs, but no matter what they do, even if he's giving $100 million to charity, people will complain. Time to move on. Luka ejects in a joke. Yeah, we're about to talk about that. But yeah, this is like the this could be a big closure moment. Luka's first game in Dallas. It's not until until both teams are no longer playing basketball this season. I think we could realistically like move to a point where we do not need to talk about it at all, right? And obviously, one team will stop playing basketball way before the other team, right? Of course, I'm talking about the Mavericks. We believe Warriors run that they're about to go on. Is it weird? I'm most happy the game's at 6:30. Yeah, thank God the game's at 6:30. No, there's not. I'm like not full closure, but at least like the game is behind us. Like this has been hanging over it for like a month, 2 months. This game has just been hanging over us like a rain cloud. Michael Malone doesn't hedge the ball handler in a ball screen. Michael Malone doesn't rotate behind aggressive ball screen coverage. Michael Malone didn't build a team that can only defend ball screens one or two ways. I would kind of agree with this. Like, they handed Michael Malone a shitty-ass deck and told him to make it happen. But I don't know. I get it. I get why they wanted to do it. It is so insane to do it now. I mean, absolutely fucking insane. And I wonder if this is going to be a new trend where teams are like, okay, we're going to fire our coach anyways, but we feel like we were going to fire him anyways, and we're not going to win, so let's just do it now. And maybe we can maybe this will fire the team up. That's true, but the Nuggets play with no intensity and seem lifeless on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, I mean, it does. And David Adelman is the new coach, and I've seen people like I don't really know about stuff like this, especially for other teams, but David Adelman is supposed to be, people really love him. People really, really like him. Oh, the Zodiac GM has chimed in. David Adelman, synergy fit, A+. David connects exceptionally well with the entire roster, particularly the core players. He's a Taurus. David embodies consistency, stability, and is an excellent culture setter. While he can be somewhat stubborn in his views, the current construction of the team aligns well with his presence. With the playoffs approaching, the team's compatibility with David could result in a more favorable transition than anticipated, potentially fostering immediate chemistry. Holy shit. Somebody get Zodiac GM in a front office job. So it's funny because I only see Zodiac GM retweeted when he's right. It does make me wonder if he's ever wrong. The Zodiac GM, I only ever see it retweeted when a couple months, it's like, this was right. They gave Kyrie, Luka an F. Well, one guy did get traded. One guy did get traded. Hold on, let me find my anal bees before you continue. Click the X button on the top right corner of your tab. Please do not continue. Well, that's because another guy didn't like that guy and like Kyrie. I don't like speculating on this kind of stuff because it's just baseless speculation, and I don't want to put that energy in the air. But I've said it at the time, and I'll continue to say it. I don't... What's the proper way to say this? I don't think they make the trade. I guess never say never. But I don't think they make the trade if they feel as though if Kyrie would have been really upset by the trade. And that's just baseless speculation. This combination is deemed for failures. Pisces and Aries are extremely opposite energies. Luka Doncic may not publicly say it, but he may certainly feel it. Is that what was said about that? No, I don't. So let me again. This is why I don't even like saying this shit. I do not think Kyrie knew. I don't. Controversial take, maybe. I don't think Kyrie knew. I don't think they told him they were going to do it. I don't think he even thought it was a possibility. I'm saying that maybe he shared frustrations. How about that? Maybe like frustrations were kind of shared, and the front office kind of thought, okay, we think that it wouldn't be like, I think Kyrie wanted to look out. See, I'm not even saying that. I don't think that's what happened. I think there was probably just shared frustrations. How about that? And I don't even like saying that, because that then implies what you just said, and I don't think that at all. Let's see. Adelman connects well with Jokic, who's a Pisces. Murray, who's a Pisces. Gordon, who's a Virgo. Porter Jr., a Cancer. Cancer brothers, stand up. Westbrook, who's a Scorpio. Watson, who's a Virgo. Jordan, who's a Cancer. So who does he, like, what? So who does he not connect well with? Yeah, and this is my question. What was the synergy fit with Malone? A+. Why does this guy have me blocked? What did I do to this guy? Come on, man. Come on. The fact that you can see people who blocked you's tweets is so stupid. And the fact that it was done because so many people blocked Elon Musk and he was so upset about it is even funnier. I do want to see if I want to see what it was with Michael Malone. Another A+ synergy coach fired. So Michael Malone as a Virgo was an A+ synergy with the team. Oh, Memphis Grizzlies. Taylor Jenkins also a Virgo. Uh-oh. Bad sign for Virgos. Virgos are down. You never blocked anyone's slight? I used to take pride in not blocking people on Twitter, but that ship has sailed. I'm very generous with the block button nowadays. You're a Virgo? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The Kings utilize a solid starting lineup with great synergy against the Pistons. Oh, this shit's hilarious to me. Oh, man. This is hilarious. Oh, we're even like, so who did they say? Battle of two very strong teams in terms of synergy. Wow. Houston was just a little bit stronger in their synergy, and they ended up beating Duke. Wow. Sometimes it's that simple. Uh-oh. Ja Morant, a Leo. Maybe this segues us into Ja Morant. Ja Morant, a Leo with Leo Moon energy, showcasing a powerful double fixed nature. Leos can be quite stubborn, yet they also demonstrate remarkable consistency due to their fixed energy. This combination is characterized by loyalty, representing the true nature of a Leo. With relentless determination, confidence, and a personality that's larger than life, Ja truly exemplifies an amplified version of Leo energy. So this does segue us into Ant's also a Leo. Leo's up this year, huh? Leos are up. Shout out to JT Toppin, by the way. Wreck him. Respectfully, I'm a Leo, and I'll throw you under the bus in 2 minutes. Man, what about us Cancers, man? I mean, we're just living life. Cancer horoscope today. Come on, bro. Cancer horoscope. It is generally quite clear that you aren't ever afraid to tell people what you think. True. But maybe it's time to be more expressive about how you feel. Interesting. It could be that your mental process is a bit off today. Jolted by an unexpected situation or person. I did start the stream by saying something was off because I woke up and I was so pissed off by Twitter. Huh. Make sure you incorporate some of your instincts and emotions into your reaction to the situation. Too late. Well, actually, not too late. I did incorporate my emotions into it. Don't rely on your brain alone to have all the answers. I rarely ever do. What are we talking about this month for cancers? Oh, my God. This is so long. So long. I'm not reading it. So long. I'm reading it right now. I'm skimming it. I just did the Kim to it. I just skimmed through it. Finally, the new moon in Taurus on April 19th invites you to plant seeds of new projects. Okay, let me write that down. April 19th, new projects. Yap, session discussion. Why is a bunch of dudes talking about how they feel emotions based off the day you were born? Because it's fun to talk about stuff like this from time to time. Guys, are you and Nixel doing a fan session today? That was yesterday. So you missed out. Wait, I can't find the clip. Did they delete all of the clips of John Morant doing the grenade celebration? Here it is. John Morant just threw a grenade into the crowd. If you're mad about this, you need to get checked out. And to be fair, I haven't seen anybody get mad at this. But if you're mad about this, get serious. Ja supporting terrorism. What's wrong with the grenade? This was the joke we were making on here a couple days ago that they need to segue. They need to segue into operating a drone strikes, things of that nature. Right? The gun one is sensitive. The gun one is sensitive because there's real life gun violence in the United States that's out of control. So that one's a little bit more sensitive, and I do get people being like, hey, let's chill out. And also the John Morant stuff, he's been in trouble for flashing guns before. So let's not pretend that there's not a reason why the league is like, hey, dude, can you please chill the fuck out with the gun stuff? Like, seriously? Please? So I know it's been so long. People still say Luka sucked in the finals. He wasn't great, but I don't think he was a problem. No, Luka was not the problem in the finals. No. What would the Jokic equivalent of the Luka trade? KD. Jokic for KD. But then you say, like, we want shooting. We're going to build our team around shooting. My wife's boyfriend is a drone operator. A lot to digest in that one. Jokic plus a second for Austin Reeves, more likely. Yeah, hey, actually, yeah, that's it right there. We just need more guards. We're trying to win in the NBA with guard play. Austin Reeves. This is what I love about MLB season. It's 11:50 in the morning, and there's a game on right now. How about that? All right, let's talk a little bit about the Lakers Thunder game from last night. I guess before we do that, let's take a quick peek because we know the Western Conference is absolutely insane. So if the Lakers lost last night, if they were to win last night, they would have found themselves, again, with a decently comfortable lead for the third spot. But with the loss, they've sort of fallen back into this. They're now only one game out of this clump. The Timberwolves, bad loss last night. Bad loss. Have now exited this clump in a bad way. They're now the 8th seed. 19 games back of the Thunder. So they're outside of the clump now. The Grizzlies, I mean, it's insane to me that the Grizzlies could wind up being the 3 seed. Like, given where they were a week ago, it's crazy the Grizzlies can wind up the 3 seed. But it's interesting because the Lakers, it did appear as if they were maybe going to rest guys last night, second night of a back-to-back, or first night of a back-to-back, I guess I should say. You're a bit of an older team. You're more geared towards the playoffs, but I didn't think resting people sounded smart. They need to win games. They ended up playing everybody, and it ended up being another really, really good game. And if I'm a Lakers fan, right? Shout out to all my Lakers fans, all of them. You guys got mad at me because I said not the Mavs fans not the Lakers fans who were Mavs fans 2 months ago. Okay, shout out to all the Lakers fans, young and old, new and old. Shout out to all of them. If I'm a Lakers fan, this score, by the way, is not indicative of how this game was whatsoever. We'll get into that in a second. But if I'm a Lakers fan, I'm leaving this 2-game stretch feeling pretty damn good about my team, and beyond that, my chances in a potential matchup between these two teams. Because obviously they won the first game in incredibly impressive fashion, and they were trading blows with this Thunder team. The first quarter was absolutely fucking nuts. The pace, the shot making from both sides. The Lakers started the game on Sunday against the Thunder. I believe, what was it, 10 of 12 from 3? They started this game 8 of 10 from 3. So just absurd shot making from the Lakers over the last couple of games. 45% from 3 in this one, 18 of 40 from 3. Some of the shots were crazy. Like, Austin Reeves was hitting some crazy shots. LeBron had a couple of deep end of shot clock heaves that went in. Just some crazy shot making. But also, they've generated a lot of really clean looks. We talked about this a couple days ago. The Thunder, this was their kind of weakness, I guess, defensively last year, although it was by design, was they give up a lot of corner threes. They give up more corner threes than any team in basketball. That is true again this year. They give up a lot of corner threes, and they gave up a lot of corner threes in these last 2 games. Dorian Finney-Smith, 4 of 8 from 3. I think he started 4 of 4. I'm interested to see how many of those threes from Dorian Finney-Smith were in the first quarter of the game. But they generate so many corner threes, and it's just kind of interesting and easy how they do it. It's just they put Dorian in the strong side corner, run a pick and roll. Dorian's defender, who is usually a big on the Thunder, come down to tag the roller, wide open corner 3. Very replicable. Very, very replicable. So it's going to be very PJ Washington-esque, where can a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith make the Thunder pay over the course of a 7-game series by draining corner threes after corner 3 after corner 3? That is going to be the question. Again, I feel as though if I'm a Lakers fan, I'm feeling pretty good about what has transpired over the last 48 hours. 48 to 78, 48 to 72 hours. Lakers are beating the Thunder in the playoffs. If everybody's healthy, Thunder can't beat Luka ball. They just give up so many easy threes when Luka's handling the ball, and Luka always turns up. So I do agree. Luka had a good game in this one. I just see people on Twitter say that the first half, and this was after the first half, a first half in which the Lakers scored 70 points. Mind you, they gave up 80, but they scored 70 points against the best defense in the league, and just by like analytics and comparison to the rest of the league, one of the better defenses we've seen in quite some time. So I love from India. Ever watch cricket? I've never watched cricket. No. Thank you for asking a relevant question to our conversation that we're currently having. But their shot making has been insane. First half was 80 to 72. Their shot making has been insane. Where I was going with that is I saw on Twitter, I didn't get a chance to watch this game live because I was at the live show. It was on, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. So I got a chance to go back and watch it. And I do like rewatching games. It's my favorite mode of watching games. I like it. I enjoy going back. I enjoy knowing how it ended. That way I sort of look for different things. You watch it differently. Like you approach it differently. And I saw people on Twitter who were upset that were saying that Luka needs the ball more. Like you got to Luka ball in the first half. I watched the first half. I mean, I don't know what you do when Austin Reeves is going fucking nuts. I don't know what you do when Austin Reeves is just having an insane first half, which he did in this game. Like, you can't just say no. This is, I guess, the blessing and the curse, even though it's not a curse, of having three really legitimately great ball handlers is, hey, sometimes a guy's going to be really good. Sometimes a guy's going to have a great quarter, and you give him the ball, and it's his turn. Right? LA's defense in the third was excellent and could have won them the game if Luka's ejection didn't derail the outcome. Yeah, the Lakers defensively, I thought, and they gave up 136 points, so it's kind of insane to say this. But over the course of these two games, I think the Lakers' defense has proven they can hang in this in a series against the Thunder. Absolutely. Again, it's insane to say that in a game in which the Thunder score 136 points. Those tweets were about LeBron's first half, in particular, second quarter. He was making so many mistakes, multiple turnovers. Here's the thing. You're not going to tell LeBron you're not going to have the ball anymore. It's fucking LeBron James. It's LeBron. The concerning thing, I think, with the Lakers, and this will be a problem for them in this series, absolutely, is the turnovers. They turned the ball over 18 times last night. The Thunder ramp up. We know that. The Thunder defensively, just incredible at forcing turnovers. They do it better than any other team in the league. It's what they do. The Lakers are turnover prone. So a lot of people are picking SG over Luka in the playoffs. Understandable because he's had a better and great year. Any thoughts? I don't know if I'd pick against Luka as being like the best player in a series at this point in time. It feels like he's starting to get there. His three-point shot's been good for a while now. LeBron is depth sliding towards being the third option slowly and slowly. So that's also kind of my thing is I go back and I rewatch the game knowing all these things in my mind, and I watch, I'm like, man, like I don't, it felt like Luka had the ball a lot. And I'm not saying that as a negative thing. But they generated a ton of great looks when Luka had the ball. Issue is LeBron at the moment. I mean, what's the issue? They've been playing good basketball lately. What is the issue? The big issue? After Luka was ejected, you can see LeBron and AR being bothered by Lou Dort bringing the ball up the floor, which resulted in turnovers. Makes you realize how good and strong Luka is. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. It's interesting because that's something that gives the Thunder team problems. Because I was noticing this. The lineups the Thunder throw out there, where they have like Shea, Caruso, Cason Wallace, Isaiah Joe, like those four are on the court. It's just too small. That's too small against Luka. That's too small against somebody like LeBron. You know, those guys are all good defenders in their own right, but they're just too small. We've seen like the small sort of, hey, this guy's small, pesky defenders. Those guys, like Luka eats those guys up usually. It's usually not a problem for Luka. They were too small for PJ. Yeah, that's true. LeBron lineups are the worst. LeBron's on-off stuff's been incredibly bizarre this year because it does not match the eye test whatsoever. I know what the on-off numbers have said about LeBron all year long. And when you watch the games, it doesn't feel that way. Mouse in the house. Yes. Luka eats up everyone except Jaylen Brown. Yeah, I mean, the guys who have given Luka problems over the years, the guys who you could look at and say, man, that guy does defend Luka pretty well, all things considered, are your lengthier wings. The guards who, like the pesky guards, which the Thunder have in droves, the pesky guards don't do as good. You know? Can I get slightly on my pregame show tonight? I'm going to be doing stuff right up until the game starting. I might even be a little late for my own stream. 6:30 start time. Hope the Lakers win 2-3 and stay the 3 seed. I want a potential Lakers OKC Western Conference Finals. If you're the Thunder, do you almost want the Lakers to be the 3 seed? Honestly. I'm sure the Thunder don't care about matchups. But would you rather, like, if I'm the Thunder, I think I want somebody else to maybe deal with the Lakers until the end. Should the Thunder be most scared of the Lakers in the West or another team? You want the Lakers right away. So I think, I don't think it's a guarantee the Lakers make the conference finals. Like, there's no guarantee there whatsoever. And there's still a pathway for the Lakers to finish in the play-in tournament. I just don't think it's going to happen. But if I'm the Thunder, yeah, maybe I worry about Jokic. However, at the same time, like, I'm not, and I'm talking second round series. I think the Thunder are going to obliterate whoever they play in the first round. Right? Timberwolves, maybe there's a couple of games that make you go, uh-oh. But I think the Thunder obliterate the Grizzlies. I think they would beat the Timberwolves. They would obliterate the Kings or the Mavs if one of those teams were to come out of it. T-Wolves can make it interesting. They have size. They're not scared of anybody. They've played them very well so far this season. If I'm the Thunder, like, playing the Warriors doesn't sound all that fun. Right now, our first round matchup would be Lakers-Warriors. That's a tough series to predict. I wouldn't even say lengthy wings. He still eats up guys like McDaniels. You need a big, strong athlete like OG to really bother Luka for multiple games in a row. So Jaden McDaniels had, like, not been terrible. There's not really a Luka stopper. But Jaden McDaniels wasn't really terrible until the playoffs. He kind of had a reputation. There was kind of a reputation. But yeah, you need a strong wing, yes. Which is why Lou Dort doesn't do a terrible job against Luka. Because he is so fucking strong. That's not the first round matchup right now. The Warriors are 7th seed. I'm looking at it right now, bro. They have them as a 6th seed right here. Dort is overrated on defense. Also, when he's allowed to tackle him, he does even better. Yeah, Dort's very physical. Warriors-Lakers, I think, would be closer. Man, the Clippers are all the way up to the 4 seed. We got a Nuggets-Clippers first-round series, potentially. And then the winner of that goes on to play the Thunder, if the season were to end today. Winner of that goes and plays the Thunder in round 2. Clippers, if healthy, could beat anyone. Absolutely agree. 100%. I think they're the second best team in the West right now. So the team you're going to pick for the playoffs. Playoffs starts April 19th. I'm guessing you're picking Warriors or Thunder and Clippers dark horse. Interesting you say that, because the Clippers are kind of creeping up as a dark horse for me. Because I just love Kawhi so much. But it's just, do you tie your horse to that wagon? I mean, that wagon's going to fall apart. We know that, unfortunately. But anyways, so the Lakers over these last 2 games, I think, have a lot to be pretty excited about. I thought Jared Vanderbilt was fucking incredible in this game, too, by the way. He was incredible defensively. Minus 17. I thought he was awesome in this one. 8 offensive rebounds. Jesus Christ. For Vando. Shea was awesome. I thought Chet made a pretty solid impact defensively. Hartenstein had that block Hartenstein had on Dalton Connect was disgusting. But I gotta say, I'm leaving these last 2 games and I'm thinking to myself, Hartenstein, Chet, really under no circumstances should I leave a game thinking, oh, Jackson Hayes was up there with those guys. Like, Jackson Hayes played pretty well. Like, that can't happen in a 7-game series. Those two need to be far and away the best bigs in the series. Far and away. Lou Dort, and to be fair, I said the Lakers were red hot from three. The Thunder were also red hot from three. Again, the first quarter was absolutely insane. These teams were just trading three. Shea was awesome in this one. 11 free throw attempts. That's a talking point because he had 0 free throw attempts the last time these two teams played. First time since 2021, I think I heard. But Caruso, it was a game like this when you realize that's what Caruso is all about. That's why you go and bring in Caruso, even if he only plays 19 minutes in a game. Had a stretch in the second quarter. A stretch in the second quarter where Caruso had forced, in about a 3-minute stretch, 4-minute stretch, forced and was directly responsible for 4 turnovers. I think he got credited for 3 steals during that stretch, but he forced 4 turnovers. Had a couple nice assists, made a layup on the other end. Can you please say on camera say that Luka at slimmer size plays better than as a fatty? I'm tired of the Glazers justifying his fat weight gains. I'm not even getting involved in that. I'm not getting involved. It's like the Wolves are so bad in the clutch. They have not improved from last year at all. Yeah, that's ultimately why. I think they'd give the Thunder like a couple scary games. I think the Thunder would win that series. I'm not getting involved. I'm not slightly involved. I'm uninvolved. Slightly uninvolved. I mean, look at the turnover differential. That would be a big thing to watch in a potential series. And it's funny because we're talking about all of this. I would say the likelihood these teams meet feel low. Especially if the Lakers are the 6th seed. They'd have to win 2 series to get there. It's possible. Any thoughts on OKC only talking smack after Luka got ejected? So Luka did get ejected in this game. So again, this is why I kind of like going into games knowing what happened. Because I was watching it. I already knew the ejection was bullshit. I saw the ejection. I was watching the game when he got ejected. Ejected for talking shit to a fan. Absolute bullshit, nonsensical ejection. To be fair, it was second technical. So he didn't get ejected for that. Second technical foul. That's how he got ejected. So I went into it kind of thinking, oh, thank God. Tonight's game's on Mavs TV. Thank Christ. TLG with the $5. Say what you want about Luka's weight, but that fat headband Luka stretch last season was goated. It was goated. It absolutely was. But I went into it thinking, was Luka just constantly berating the refs? Constantly berating the refs all night long. And it was just kind of only a matter of time before he got teed up. And sure, it maybe was a bullshit ejection, but he had it coming. Honest to God, I didn't think so. I was watching expecting Luka to be in rare form with the refs. Or I guess not rare form, common form with the refs. And I didn't even think he was that bad. Obviously, had some moments where he was complaining and yelling at a fan or yelling at the refs, but that's to be expected, right? But yeah, I didn't think it was anything crazy. He wasn't berating the refs yesterday. Yeah, I don't even think he was that bad. So here's the ejection. Nice finish over Hartenstein. Now, to be fair, of course, a horrible ejection, but it does look like he's looking at the ref. But he is talking to a fan. So I'm sure this tech, if it hasn't been rescinded yet, as of the time we're talking about this, it definitely will be rescinded. I want to say this about the Lakers. And again, I didn't even think Luka was bad last night on this front. The Lakers as a team, the crying is on another fucking level, man. It is just, it's constant. It's endless. It's everybody on the roster. Oh, it's hard. It's frustrating. I'm a hater. I don't give a fuck. My least favorite one is Jackson Hayes. My least favorite one is Jackson Hayes because Jackson Hayes will jump directly into a shooter and then start crying and complaining to the refs. I'm like, I don't know if Jackson Hayes knows the rules of the game. Like, that's on the table. Jackson Hayes might not know the rules. LeBron obviously crying. Reeves crying. Vanderbilt, yes. To be fair, Vanderbilt got like knocked in the head and lost his head, man. They didn't call it, but still. It's endless. It is everybody on the team. And it's just like, oh, do we need to do this after every whistle, guys? Every whistle we have to do this. We record SGA grifting. Nothing frustrates me more than constantly yapping at refs. That's the most annoying shit. It's funny, like, I have to say, and you guys are going to yell at me for this, but it's the truth, and I'm sorry to say it. Everyone, it's a lot of Luka fans who shit on Shea for grifting. Shea's a grifter, absolutely. Shea and Luka grift in similar fashions a lot of the time, guys. They do the same ball fakes, get you up in the air, get you in the landing space, catch you reaching, go up quickly with a shot. Yes, it's pretty similar in how they do it. SGA is way worse. Shea's grifting is way worse. Luka never did shit like that. Luka grifts. Give me a fucking break, dude. Like, there's nothing wrong with grifting, by the way. There's nothing wrong with grifting. So before you guys get mad about that, some rant with the $4.99. I was watching for this subject because I want rant. That game was tame for Luka when it comes to complaining. I agree. I didn't think it was bad at all. All of the great scorers, all the Wyatt Langford 10-day DL. Oh my God, dude. You know what I'm really frustrated about just in my sports fandom? I'm tired of players getting hurt. Then they have a fucking quote after the game. This happened to Wyatt Langford last night. He plays for the Rangers, best player on the team. Comes out after the game and is like, yeah, I'm fine. It's just like this side thing. I don't think it's a big deal. And now he's on the DL, and who the fuck knows? Probably out for the season if I had to guess. You wish so hard you could be a Lakers fan instead of a Mavericks fan. All you do is talk about them every stream. I don't know why you're laughing about that, because when I don't talk about them, people come in here and cry that I don't talk about them and I need to talk about them. And I do not wish I could be a Lakers fan. If I want to be a Lakers fan, I would just be a Lakers fan. Like if I wanted to be a Lakers fan, I would just do it. You think I needed to like fill out a permission slip to do it? Do I need to ask you for permission? Luka's lost games grifting. They all do it. It's part of the game. All great scorers grift in a way, for sure. You are downplaying the jaw grenade, and it upsets me that it doesn't upset you. What if you have gone off and hurt people in the crowd? He was like he was an invisible stud and no one got hurt. That's a good one. I was wondering where that was going. Some ran with the $9.99. I always hate Luka complaining to refs, but even if what he said was towards the ref, grow up, stop being in your field. Same with taunting and celebrating. They taking a swat the game. Oh, I want to say Vanderbilt's tech. I saw people mad about that one. Come on, bro. That's a tech. They're calling that a tech almost every single time. Is if your name's not Draymond Green. If your name's Draymond Green, you probably get away with that. The Jared Vanderbilt one was a tech. Guys, you can't get in a guy's face like that. They're going to call that a tech every time. They're going to call it. Come on, guys. They're going to call that a tech every single time, man. Every time. It's a dumb tech, though. That's the point. Even if it's not Vando. Okay, that's fine. But I agree with you. But I've seen people say they never call that a tech. They call that a tech a lot. Unless you're James Harden in last year's playoffs. It doesn't help that it came right after Luka got ejected. Which, again, the second tech on Luka was indefensibly bad. Horrible. If they haven't rescinded that yet, they will rescind that. The refs been a problem for a very long time. That's why the ratings are hurting. Nobody wants to watch the refs go on an ego trip like that. I do find it interesting because I do think the refs are probably better than they've ever been. I've actually had a change of heart recently when it comes to officiating. when it comes to officiating, when it comes to just umpiring, whatever the case, refereeing in sports. Key with the $199. Mavs gift to season ticket holders is free play-in tickets. Can I ask the question, what's wrong with that? Like there's plenty of things to criticize this organization for, but if the Mavs made the play-in, giving season ticket holders free, and they're not going to be the 9 seed, so it doesn't matter. They're not going to host a playing game. But giving season ticket holders free tickets, well, to be fair, whenever that came out, they were the 9 seed. I know they won't be hosting it, but whenever they said they would do that, they were the 9 seed at the time. The refs are fine in the NBA. Just watch college. Yeah, that is it. Every time I of course, we all share the same frustrations with officiating and refs. Then March Madness comes along, and I leave March Madness going, holy shit. Like, there's such a wide gap between the talent on the court, skill-wise, for players from college basketball to the NBA, like a massive skill gap. I mean, it's insane how massive the gap is. It's probably worse for the refs. It is probably worse for the officials. The officials are so bad. So bad in college. It is insane how fucking terrible they are. Lil Ness with the $4.99. Had a feeling that rage bait chatter's being full force today. Here's your sanity and patience. Also, thoughts on middle names in general. Yeah, I don't really understand middle names, and I can't say I ever have. Was it just like a second name? Like almost like this is what we thought about naming you, but we didn't want to go there? Or this is like in an ideal world we don't have to worry about people judging us for what we named you. This is what we would have named you. Something along those lines. Some random with the $9.99. First tech is fine, but stars don't get ejected after doing a lot worse in a heated game. In my opinion, I like Luka going back and forth with fans. It's entertaining and it gets him going. I'm done ranting. Well, regardless of what they might have said after the game, I don't know what they said after the game, the refs, but regardless of what they said, I think they thought he was talking to him. I think that was the problem. I do think NBA officiating isn't terrible. It's probably better than it's ever been, all things considered, which is saying a lot. And my stance on officiating has changed to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I want perfect officiating. I don't know if I want robot refs that call everything, because I think the games would be really boring. I do. I think baseball, I don't want an automatic strike zone. I've come to that conclusion. I don't want an automatic strike zone in baseball. I don't want one. I think there's a human element to baseball that makes it interesting. I think that the catcher's ability to steal strikes is a legitimate skill set. Did you want a pitch clock? I honestly can't remember. I mean, pitch clock's perfectly fine. An automatic strike zone completely and totally changes the dynamic of a game. You're telling me you lived through Angel Hernandez era and you don't want robots? Well, Angel Hernandez should have just been fired. Like, put good umpires there. You have all of the data now to tell you who's good, who's bad. There's good ones in the minor leagues. Strongly disagree about the strike zone. I grew up playing catcher for a long time, and honestly at a decently high level. I admire the art, and it is an art. To steal strikes, to frame pitches, is part of the game within the game. It makes it fun. It's part of the fun aspect of the game. What do you think of the extra inning rule? Runner on second should never happen in a playoff game, regular season game. Cool. Tatum is closer to Paul George and LeBron. No hate. I mean, all time. Well, that kind of goes without being said. Lou Dort, child support, divorce court, Lakers in 5. I would love this to be a conference finals. I think it would be great. That's my big takeaways. You guys know I said that I thought this wouldn't be a competitive series, or that the Thunder might only lose 2 games in the Western Conference. And that could still be true. Dylan with the $5. I agree the NBA call by officiating is pretty good, but I wish we could cut out these egregious texts. I mean, you're always going to harp on the bad moments, right? Some ran with the 499. I agree with that. In Premier League, they have brought in VAR, VAR, and it kind of took the soul out of football, soccer for you. No, I say football. Don't worry. And I got to be honest with you. I've had my frustrations boil over. My old stance used to be the review should take 30 seconds. If you can't find, because you got a whole fucking replay center. Like, what's taking so long on some of these reviews? It should be boom, 30 seconds. If within 30 seconds we don't have an answer, if within 30 seconds to 60 seconds we do not have it, then we can't overturn it. It's taking us this long. Or there should just be a dedicated person. I mean, how many realistically do you need over the course of a night? 4 or 5 dedicated people who are in a replay center watching every play. We're challenging this. I've already been looking at it. It's overturned. You don't even need to go to it's like baseball. You don't even need to go to the monitors. Just fucking sit on the field and we'll overturn it. But I've actually just had some frustrating games this season where reviews just take over games at certain points. I've actually reached a point, I don't even want reviews. I don't want them, period. I've reached that point now. I don't want them. Or maybe just have one in the last 2 minutes, something like that. That way, if a big call at the end of the game, we don't want to dictate a game, that's fine. But I don't want, I'm sorry. Reviews are just, they frustrate me beyond belief. They frustrate me beyond belief. Slightly biased, nightly cries, however you slice it, Lakers in 5. Less time for ads, so no. That's a good point. What does this take? I'm just frustrated with how long this shit takes, man. The thing about the purpose of a game is to be enjoyable for fans. I think the NBA shoots itself in the foot at times because the game feels choppier than it needs to. It's the basketball, especially at the highest level in the NBA, is the most free-flowing sport we have. It's just this ultimate sort of display of skill at the highest possible fucking level. The ultimate display of skill that we have. And sometimes it just gets butchered. Completely and totally butchered by the flow of the game. And yeah, when they spend 5 minutes reviewing, well, that ball went off his fingertips. I don't like that shit. That sucks. It sucks. Can't really be enjoyable if wrong calls can't be overturned. If a review on the Luka Tech was present, the game quality would have been 10 times higher. I think you're overestimating. And again, you can save a challenge for the last 2 minutes. That's fine. But I think you're overestimating how much a fan's viewing experience has improved because they got an out of bounds call right in the third quarter of a game. Like, I think you're overestimating that. Just got here. Thoughts about Mavs putting thank you shirts on the seats. Who the fuck's going to wear that? Yeah, I had a rant about it earlier, how annoyed I was that people thought it was stupid because I don't like, there's a can't win situation. NBA trying to get players to the Lakers and they still screw it up. Sometimes even review doesn't matter. Yeah, and then it's 10 times more frustrating when you feel like a review was incorrect or a play happens at the end of the game. They're like, we can't review that. And it's like, well, you guys just spent 30 minutes in reviews earlier in the game. Like, what do you mean? How come when they review stuff in college, no one complains? That's what gets on my nerves. Really? Well, college fans are different. I feel like almost everyone I know that especially is like me and does not watch college basketball until March always has the same thoughts. My God, the end of these college games is egregious. Like, the end of these games are just fucking stupid. That over the back from flag ruined the year for me. And that's what's also frustrating me about the reviews is like, okay, you have all of these different reviews, but then you can still mess up calls like that, and those can't get reviewed. FIBA's the best product. FIBA is very good. I love watching international basketball. Very good. What was your opinion on the flagrant for Vando? Thought he just wrapped them up. Everyone has an opinion watching one college game a year. Yes, that's exactly me. I mean, Vando's a physical player. Like, it's no point in pretending that he's not. Big 12 refs are terrible. Oklahoma State played FAU earlier in the year, and I remember there was like 87 free throws shot. I mean, I personally think college is out of control. I think college is just completely and totally out of control. Knicks 0-3 versus Celtics. Is that right? The Knicks record against all of the top teams is brutal. On 4. 0-9 versus Cavs, OKC, and Boston. I guess I mean from a media perspective, because announcers will complain about reviews in an NBA game, but not NCAA games. No, NBA is the only sport where like people who are actively talking about it on the broadcast or halftime shows are like shitting on the game. And by the way, before anyone says it's hypocritical of me to say this, I'm talking about the NBA as an outsider during a morning stream at 12 o'clock. Food for thought. On September 25th, 2024, Cuban was on Club Shay Shay taking credit for the Kyrie trade. I'm just so like... I'm so like done with the Cuban experience at this point. Have you seen the recent Bleacher Report Hero Ball video? No, I have not. Is he good? What happened to the aura the league had in the 90s? So much of the aura of Days Old, and I've said this and I stand by it, because every summer, you know, NBA TV's constantly running reruns of old games, and I'll just throw it on in the background, shit like that. A lot of aura that you feel from old sports, and I really do mean this when I say this, it's going to sound crazy, but bear with me, is the camera quality and the audio quality. I'm being serious. It adds something. It gives you that nostalgic feeling, but it adds something. The camera bulb flashes, aura for sure. The audio quality sounding bad makes it sound louder than it actually was, is another thing. But also, another reason why you should watch old NBA in playback. They did that at the start of the season. I didn't do it because I was just still on vacation time, but it feels vintage, but also part of why it feels like part of why that era had an aura was the fact that we didn't know anything about those guys. Those guys showed up on the basketball court. That's the only time you really ever saw them. They were like, you know, I'm trying to word this the right way so it doesn't sound like weird. But they were like basketball players. They were legends and heroes. Like they didn't have a podcast. They didn't go on TikTok. I'm gonna sound like a boomer. They didn't have a live stream after the game. Like that was it. You just watched them play basketball, and that was just kind of that. High def and fancy. Yeah, the better the camera quality, it does kind of feel like it's more of a production. Like when NFL debuted the eyeball camera a few years ago, when like they after a touchdown they would go to the end zone and it felt like the camera was so high quality. Something almost felt off about it. Like, ugh. Feels like I'm watching a movie. Way more mystique about him, absolutely. No Twitter, yeah. I mean, you only saw them play basketball. That's it. You didn't know what they did afterwards. Maybe you would hear about it, but you didn't know what they did afterwards. Podcasting has done irreplicable damage to irreversible damage, player podcasts are by and large awful. They are. And I don't want to, obviously one of my longtime stances is people say not everyone should have a microphone in regards to a podcast. I disagree. I think everybody should have a podcast. I think literally every person in the world should have a podcast. Every single person should have a podcast. It's therapeutic. Talk about your day. I think everyone should do it. But I do think player podcasts stink. I think they stink. There's a few good ones, but I think they, by and large, are terrible. I hate whenever, this is why I don't listen to the Ryan Russillo podcast. I hate player and coach interviews. I just can't stand them. I don't think they're entertaining. I don't think they're fun. And it's no offense to any of these guys, but it's just not as fun as you would think it would be. It's a little boring. I don't like listening to players huff their own farts. It's also what are the players going to say? A player's not going to say something crazy on a podcast. Thoughts on Braun's podcast? I haven't listened to it recently, but I did think it was entertaining, but maybe a little Old Man 3 was great before JJ got hired. Like I said, there's a few good ones, and JJ didn't do the player podcasting route. He did I'm a former player, but I'm talking about the game in a way that podcasters talk about the game. I'm not doing Jeff Teague is similar. I'm a former player, but I'm doing podcasting. I'm a player podcasting. I'm just going to be a podcaster. Does that make sense? Those guys retired and were podcasting, were podcasters. They weren't players podcasting. There's a difference, guys. Think about it. They're podcasters, not players podcasting. We know everything about Michael Jordan. We know nothing about LeBron's family. ESPN worked for LeBron. That's why he's beefing with Perk, Windhorst, and Stephen A. Smith. Dude, if you think the level at which Michael Jordan was visible to people is the same as LeBron, I don't know what to tell you. Jeff Teague is genuinely fucking hilarious. He's a great podcaster who just so happens to be a former NBA player. Kind of similar to JJ Redick. JJ Redick, a great podcaster who just so happened to be a former NBA player. You're telling me you don't like when Russillo brings on Toumani Camara, talk about the Blazers offense? I cannot do it. When Russillo's and today we're bringing on Chiefs offensive lineman, I'm all right, and I'm out. Do you ever live stream games and commentate over them? Is that a serious question? If that's a serious question, yes, playback.tv/slightly biased. We know about how many women Wilt had been with, but that stuff comes out through books and magazine features and interviews after the fact. We're not getting this up to date information on Instagram stories. Jeff feels like he's been a part of many NBA moments. Jeff Teague's hilarious because he short sells himself so much. And it comes off authentic. It comes off genuine. It makes it even funnier. It makes it even funnier to realize that Jeff Teague was a legitimately really good basketball player. Made an all-star game. Yeah, Wilt, the Instagram story. Humans weren't meant to interact or digest these many opinions. Yeah, there's a world where peak internet was early 2000s, or maybe you had access to certain things niche. If you really wanted to go there, you could find niche sort of message boards and stuff like that. And obviously that means that this would be impossible, which does suck. We don't know much of Luka outside of basketball, though. You can choose to keep your life private. Yeah, that's true. T saying he didn't even care when he won a championship was comedy. Well, it's interesting insight in that because I have always kind of wondered that. If a player, especially a player who's like at the end of his career and used to play all the time and used to be a starter and was an all-star in Jeff Teague's case, when you get to the end of the road and you're not really playing and your team wins, what is the feelings? The point is players of old don't put themselves out there with the media or show up on shows before they retired. They would show up, drop 30, and wait until next game. It was pure aura. But that's just also how it was. Like that, there wasn't like the infrastructure wasn't really in place. Because like I don't want to say like the '90s guys were just a different breed. Because if all of this shit existed then, they would have done it. Like you're telling me Shaq at his peak in the mid '90s would have had a podcast. He absolutely would have had a podcast. Shaq would have been Twitch streaming, Mortal Kombat in the 1990s. You're saying that players being able to go back at the media is a negative? Go back at the media. What do you mean? I mean, they still had press conferences and stuff and interviews where they would shit on the media. I just think it's just there was this mystique about players that did make them larger than life figures. And they still kind of are larger than life figures. But now it's like, oh, there's Paul George. Well, I've listened to his podcast 3 times this week. Paul George, the podcaster? Kevin Durant type exchanges, and unfortunately LeBron's whole thing with Stephen A. Smith, just not a good look for the brand. KD getting into it on Twitter. But KD's kind of carved his own path there. That's kind of interesting. What up, Retina? Doing post-game interviews after every game is redundant, in my opinion. Unpopular opinion. Yeah, I mean, very rarely are you getting a lot of things of substance from those. Podcast P ruined PG for me. He was my favorite pacer for a while. I'm just like, I know you would never get away with this now, and you shouldn't, to be fair, taking away people's, freedoms. But if I were running a team, I would not want a player on my team to have a podcast. I would absolutely not want somebody on my team to have an active podcast. Unless it was like, hey man, listen, I just take a real big interest in I just take a really big interest in World War I. And me and like my old history teacher, we have a World War I podcast where we're just kind of going over the different battles, and we do it week by week. Okay, yeah, cool. Do that podcast if you want. All good. Make that the John Morant podcast. That would be funny if John Morant came out with a podcast, but was like, guys, it's not what you think it's going to be. It's going to be, we're looking at like the advancement of automobile technology in the early 20th century. Top 3 stars that dramatically dropped their stock this season. PG might be number 1. I think his teammate's number 1. I think Embiid's stock is probably 0. Whose stock do you think dropped more, Embiid's or Paul George? They're both pretty bad. No, I don't know about KD's. I honestly think it could be Embiid. Paul George is bad, don't get me wrong, but you knew that was going to be bad at some point. Embiid's is like, oh, our franchise is done. Like, our franchise is over if this is who Embiid is now. Luka stock. Whose stock rose the most in your opinion? I mean, from a potential face of the league perspective, Luka's stock went up quite a bit, actually. I mean, SGA is going to win MVP, so his stock went up considerably. Could Beal's stock have gotten any lower, though, is I guess my question. Reeves' stock skyrocketed this year. 100%. Mobley, I mean, Cade, absolutely Cade. Is Zubats a bit of an underrated most improved candidate or stock rise from a talent standpoint? Definitely stock. He was in the most improved player conversations very early in the season. I remember people brought him up. I mean, he has a chance to make an all-defensive team. John T. Moran talking about the development of Eastern Bolivian cocoa production in the 1890s. Hey, guys. It's LeBron James with new podcast. Lamau. We're going over China's economic policy throughout the 20th century in this 14-part podcast series. Can't believe we saw Quentin Grimes drop 22 in the third pretty much by himself and still traded him. Yeah. Lamau. Dyson Daniels stock absolutely went up. I have a hot take. Here we go, guys. Red has a hot take. Buckle up. I have a hot take. Tell me if you disagree slightly. I think Defensive Player of the Year and all defense shouldn't be an award. Yeah, okay. I disagree. It's impossible to measure defense fairly. I agree with that. I mean, there's a reason why I think the Defensive Player of the Year award is literally like, who cried the most? Who cried the most? Shea might make all defense. I don't think Shea's making an all defense team. Did Jokic stock go up? That's kind of impossible to answer before the playoffs. Because if, let's say the Nuggets lose round one, did Jokic stock go up? I don't know if I could say Jokic stock went up. If they end up, after everything that's happened, making a run, maybe winning a couple series, making the conference finals, which isn't impossible, yeah, I think his would probably go up. Defensive awards are like Gold Gloves is purely reputation. Well, even like the Gold Glove awards in baseball have reached a point where they have metrics that are so pinpoint accurate that it is just kind of like a spreadsheet. Okay, search, sort, descending order. All right, that guy's winning Gold Glove. I was actually thinking, Lil Nesso, did LeBron's stock bump up a tiny bit? It's crazy to think about. And also, it's impossible to say this before the playoffs, similar with that. But at 40 years old, I feel like his stock has actually gone up a tiny bit. Can I join your clan in Clash of Clans? I wonder if I'm still in a Clash of Clans clan. I haven't played that game in probably 8 years. It was good seeing you last night, slightly erect. Okay, good seeing you too. How is your beard so much better than mine? How do you manage it? It's just a beard. SGA is not a terrible defender, but the fact he's getting Defensive Player of the Year's votes was 100% reputational. He almost always guards the fourth best player. No, I agree with that. True. LeBron has a Kindle now, so his stock has definitely gone up. All right, if you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. I love you. We're going to wrap this stream up. We'll be live tonight, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, playback.tv/slightly biased. The return of Luka Doncic to the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. You're really tall in person. It is always funny when I meet people and they're like, wow, I didn't think you'd be this, like, I didn't realize that you weren't short. And I'm like, well, do I give off short energy or something? I don't really get it. It's hilarious that the Father Time ads were 2 years ago and he's even better now. I mean, when were the Ruffles commercials? You get 5'9" vibes? Hell no. Family Pokemon Gaming Channel 199, just showing support. Thanks for being relatable. Thank you guys. I got a couple of what's wrong with 5'9"? No, nothing wrong with 5'9", but I mean, like, am I getting the Switch too? Maybe not. Maybe not. Did you play intramurals at Tech? Yes. I played all of them. I mean, you gotta play intramurals. Played basketball. You guys want to know a funny intramural basketball story I had? Our team fucking reeked, right? Awful. And this was like, I hadn't played basketball in years. Intramurals going at Tech. I hadn't played basketball in so long. And like didn't play regularly at all. So our team was terrible. And we lost. I'm lifting today, yeah. We lost a game, and that was supposed to be it, right? And we were like, okay, thank God, whatever. We're terrible. Fuck it. It was like the playoffs. Every team made it or something. I don't remember what it was exactly. But it was like, oh, okay, whatever. Let's leave. Let's go home. Nobody wanted to be there. They said, hey, guys, all right, tough loss, but you guys are in the loser bracket now. And we're like, what? Like, yeah, you're in the loser bracket. And we even tossed around the idea of potentially just leaving. They're like, no, it's like $100 fine if you forfeit the game. And it's like, okay, you know, you're a college kid. That adds up quite a bit. $20 each. That's tough. Mind you, we had 5 people. 5 people, right? Just showed up for 40 minutes, got our ass kicked, wanted to leave. We went into the loser bracket. We ended up making the loser bracket championship, which was 3 games. So we played 4 consecutive games with just 5 people. Horrible experience. And we lost the loser bracket championship. So there was nothing to take from it. It's just insane. But played softball, played kickball. I mean, I was in every damn intramural there was. Kickball. Kickball was strangely the most... And I don't know what it is about kickball. I think it's because you can peg people with the ball. I'm not sure. But I almost saw 2 full-fledged brawls in kickball. Flag football, which was fucking terrible. I hated flag football so much. So much. You look like you play kickball with Russians. If you know, you know. I don't know. What am I lifting today? Legs. It's leg day. Got to muster up the courage. But you got to do it. Right? I mean, you got to do it. Got to muster up the courage. Not looking forward to it. Do you tan? No. All right, thank you all for coming out. All of the OGs, guys, I love you very much. You could have spent your Wednesday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, you guys never have to do that, but it helps you out tremendously. Makes you feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you tonight, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Playback.tv/slightly biased. Worst tattoo area pain-wise? Well, I don't have any on my chest. I hear that's the worst. Don't have any on my ribs. I hear that one's bad. I think by far it was this one right here. This one hurt. All the other ones, I have to be honest with you, I don't think tattoos hurt that badly. But like this area doesn't feel great. I thought the elbow area, I have one that like went up on my elbow, and I thought that it would be worse, but honestly, it didn't really feel that bad. Maybe I didn't have it close enough. I'm not sure. Anyways, see you guys tonight. Playback.tv/ShottyBias will be live during the game. Love you all. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.